everybody, Steve Morse here. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the solo in Dude Ranch. To start off with, it's just straight blues. I'm leaving a lot of space because it's the beginning in the tune, and it's real rhythmic feel kind of background to play over. So I'm playing a sixth, not a perfect third, bending it past a minor third, but almost to a major third. Next third. So a straight blues, the notes to walk up, I'm playing on different strings to give it more impact from than doing something like that. And that I'm sort of outlining because one way to sort of hear the rhythm is alternating between the root and the four chord. So that's what I'm doing a little bit here. Then the next one, it's straight above. I'm bending it a little bit before I hit the next note. And the reason I'm shifting positions is to stay on the same two strings to keep the tone similar. And those little ghosted chicka-chickas help give, again, sort of a syncopated feel to the riff. Something like that, just a box blues pattern. Next, I'm going to walk up to, it goes to the 5 chords, which is a C sharp minor 7th, something like that. Instead of that, I was sort of tired of hearing myself play the cliche thing, those 3 blues notes. So I was hearing like a B over C sharp. So for C sharp, something like that. And it's a diatonic notes with 1 extra chromatic note. Those are all picked. The last note is not picked. It's just you're fretting the high A and then bending up to it with the fret below. Okay, so anyway, we got this lick. And the next one is a continuation of the same idea. We're kind of playing over the C sharp minor 7th. And here we're playing over, well, I hear it as a D Lydian and to a G major, then down a half step back into the F sharp. So there's a little bit of a trill, a single trill. I don't know if that's called a mordant or not, but in rock and roll it's called a tweedly probably. It's again stylistically something I do a lot when I'm switching positions. It's nice to include the fact that you're changing position with some kind of a slide. So it gives a more, I don't know, more of a fluid sound. Or something like that maybe. Instead of a And let me give you another. you hit the note and slide down while it's still ringing. Anyway, that's again very stylistic thing. There's chromatic notes, and up to here, I wanted to make sure and reach that root. The arpeggiated, jumping back and forth thing actually starts on C sharp. It's D, it's G. Okay, so we're coming from this. Now that downbeat overlaps the next section, so I have to cut off what I'm hearing in my head is a riff. The riff is. And this is something I typically do a lot of, this kind of a 3. And it works out over 4 to give a little bit of accent type syncopation. Anyway, and why is there a riff here instead of improv? I don't know. It just felt like we're coming back to the F sharp, and I needed to do something different because there had been enough soloing and enough, blues phrases and stuff. I wanted to get more busy riff. So it's there's nothing to it. It's just straight minor pentatonic. Slide up. So I played it. Now the next section is a little bit more like it's well, it's major pentatonic is the way I'm hearing it. Same thing. I'm sliding and trilling on the top note. Again, very, very typical style. Now we go into yet another thing I do a lot which is try to work a pattern into a melody. There's a chord change there. So by doing that, I sort of painted myself into a corner. I thought, I didn't know how it was going to work out. I was playing along. Then I realized I needed one more, so I had to. So that brings us to the next melodic section. The reason I wanted to have a melodic section is because it felt like with the key change and their different feel, more of a sort of marching horn band kind of feel, that I wanted to do a melody that I could imagine a lead part of the horn section would do. Let's analyze that a little bit. And instead of I'm hitting it, changing my position. There's 13. Now I'm going to 11th position. And changing it so that I can do the bends up and down and give the melody a little shape instead of. Just by itself. So it's got some energy and power with the vibrato and the bends. And this is not, the last few notes are not picked. Now the chord is going down a half step to a B minor seventh. So I want to make sure the melody goes up instead of going down. And if I went down a half step, it'd be so parallel with the chords that I wouldn't like it. So I want to be sure I was going up. So I'm aiming for the third of the B minor, but I need a pickup note, so I go a half step up. And now all I'm doing is just outlining the chord up. And I don't even know what this is, what you call it. And there's a simple B minor. Now we're changing chords again to a C sharp. I know that's not very inspirational, but I was running out of frets and notes, so I went down and came right back up. So I end on that climactic C sharp. Now while I'm holding the note, everybody else is holding in the track, so I realized I need to do some kind of a pickup. Normally, I could have been a big drum fill or something, or I don't know what, but it just felt like I needed to do something. So while I held this for part of the time, I changed the pickup from here from the neck pickup to the bridge pickup. It's not maybe the best position to do that in, but given where I was and the fact that I was, improvising, trying to think what would fit here, I just went with, I knew I was aiming for that F sharp. So I just was kind of filling in notes and seeing where I would land. And that's what happens sometimes, is you go by your feel and try and make it work out. And that's just obviously the chromatic style, very typical of what I would do. The next one is played with a lot of attitude, kind of like those harmonica players that play with old-fashioned microphones through a distorted little Gibson amp. And then the next one is straight blues. Well, not straight blues, but my idea of it. I love the way this ends. So instead of playing the same note, so it's bending up while the top note's going down, the bottom note's going up. So like a harmonica player would play in a blues band, playing through those old microphones plugged into a little Gibson amp or something. That's what I was going after. Next riff is, it's got that same idea of, instead or it's played over two different strings, because I think it's stronger that way, and it's easier and more natural for me to play. So the top note comes down, the bottom note goes up slightly to bring you back to the root. Then straight blues. Playing the 6th or 13th up here, with kind of a labor or just a tortured third there. just typical box pattern noodling down there, because I'm setting up for the climb. Now the climb here, I'm going to back up so you can see the tone control. I hit the volume up all the way, turn off the tone control. So it gives a little bit of a wah-wah from it. And the reason for doing that is the doubles, well, it's unison. You know, playing the same note here, backing it up with a bend, it gives you power, and you can adjust the dissonance. The dissonance happens when you take it in and out of tune. And so your vibrato is real powerful, basically. It's controlling those beats where the amp is going, my God, would you please decide on a note? And there's two notes close to each other, producing all that beating. Anyway, that's pretty much it. And hope you got something out of it. And we'll see you next time.